with the. All right, what I'm going to do is something a little bit unorthodox as far as the way I'm going to kind of handle this meeting. This is a participation type situation. It's a conversation. I don't want it to be me just sitting here preaching to the choir. And there's like I just let 5 people in. Janine, can you take a look at that? So or do you have
Oh,
time?
I don't have privileges. You've got to give it to me.
Okay, let me, Rick, do you have privileges? Let me give it to Janine real quick. I'm sorry, guys. Just want to make sure I can stay focused and not
Yes.
um, be letting people in the door. Boo.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna pin myself here.
What's that, Marcus? I didn't hear what you said, but
Okay. Is it okay?
You're good to go now.
Okay, got it.
All right, you good?
I don't see anybody. Do you?
Oh, I just let them all in.
Okay, very good.
All right. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna do this. Is gonna be a little bit unorthodox how we're gonna handle this meeting. I want it to be a situation where everyone participates. Do me a huge favor. Go and either open up like a Word doc as well as or your notes or the notes, however you can take notes. I am gonna make sure we put this video out, and we're gonna also make sure that we get you the video at the end of this. But I am going to share some links in the chat, and as well as I'm going to ask you guys some questions in the chat. So if you have somewhere or something to write with, but more so you can just copy the link so you have access to the links right away. Okay, so that would be probably the most important thing. So I know we're all here and we're here to talk about AI. And over the past year or so, our discussion with AI has been primarily ChatGPT, and that because that's pretty much what everyone knows when it comes to AI and language models. We understand ChatGPT, and that's great. And we are going to do a little bit of talking about ChatGPT. This is going to be a three-part series, okay? There's no possible way that I can cram everything you need to know to make this applicable to your life and to your business in a 45-minute to an hour session. I would never try to do that. This is going to be a ranging level of, I'm not sure where you are on this voyage with AI. You may have never logged into ChatGPT
Hi,
or anything
Joseph.
like
My
that.
name is Kim
That's fine.
McIntosh.
If you guys can mute yourselves, I'd appreciate it just to mute yourselves, if you could. Thank you so much. So I don't know where you are on this, and it doesn't
I'm a
even matter
tester.
because we're all going to start at the same place. All right, we're all going to start today, and would really love everyone on this call to really step back for a second. This is going to be a situation where I can promise you that you're not going to be the same as you were when you came on this call. You're going to change in some way. And what I mean by that is you're going to have some knowledge and some understanding of some things that you can either decide to apply into your life, into your business, or you can decide not to, but your brain's never going to go back to its original state. You're going to have that knowledge, and what you do with that is really up to you. There are probably tons of companies, I hope, I would think, or maybe not, that are having a discussion like this, that it would be it's very important for us as a leadership team to make sure you have knowledge that is not only going to be relevant to your business, but to your life as well. So that's why we're having this type of a pop-up, okay? So I am going to, let me see, I had a couple people that's texted me to make sure they can get in. Al Benetti is coming to the awards breakfast, so that's a text that it's got. All right, so what I do want to do is show you guys an example of how I particularly use AI in my life. And it's not only just with, creating content for social media or running real estate statistics or helping with structured blog posts. I actually have adopted this into my personal life because I am telling you without a doubt, and I'll show you some information as we move forward to back this up. This is going to be the way the world is. And if you don't take, and I understand when it comes to technology as well as when it comes to tools, one of the challenges is always like the learning curve. It's just so so bulky and cumbersome to actually learn how to use something. But the best way to do this is start to use it. And I've got some examples in the presentation to kind of help you with this. But just to give you an idea, we're gonna open and let Tina in. All right. Good morning.
Good morning. How can I help you today?
Well, good morning to you. I'm a little bit pressed for time, and I would love for you to help me put together a shopping list I'm going to shop at Publix here in St. Petersburg, Florida. I would love to have items that are high in protein, moderate in fat, moderate in carbohydrates, and low in sugar, please.
To create a high protein, moderate fat, moderate carbohydrate, and low sugar grocery list at Publix in St. Petersburg, Florida, consider the following. Proteins, skinless chicken breasts, lean cuts of beef and pork, fresh or frozen fish like salmon and trout, eggs, Greek yogurt plain, non-fat or low-fat, cottage cheese low-fat, tofu and tempeh, whole grains such as quinoa, brown rice and oats.
You guys get the idea with that. So then I'm going to say, all right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that list. If you can also give me any BOGOs that Publix at in St. Pete may be running. Can you also search for BOGOs in St. Petersburg, Florida, or buy one, get one freeze?
Marcus, you failed the day. You're fired.
Publix in St. Petersburg currently has several buy one, get one free deals. You can check their weekly ad on the Publix website or their mobile app for the latest offers. Some common BOGO items include pantry staples, snacks, and beverages, so it's definitely worth a look before you shop.
Thanks so much. Can you please drop the link for me? Thank you.
Sure. You can view the latest weekly ad for Publix here. That should give you all the BOGO offers from this week.
All right. Could everyone hear that exchange? Hello? Janine?
Yes, we can. We
Okay.
did.
And the reason for me doing that, guys, I know it's a little silly, but I just want you to be able to understand that the way this is going to be affecting your life is going to be like this. And I want to give you a couple examples that are real-time things that aren't just about the technical things, but just like simple things like that. Not only that was I able to say that, like, like usually I do that on my walks. I'll definitely, I'll go and, I'll say I need a shopping list or I need a reminder or something, or I need to have some type of I need some type of a list made or whatnot. So once you actually talk to it, if you actually go into your dashboard, let's say on ChatGPT, then you'll see that this was the whole discussion I just had. That's actually on the dashboard. So it also has, I told them to drop the link for me. So it actually dropped the link here so I can go and get the BOGOs directly from this. So that alone, and this was the whole exchange, hey, this is me talking about the deal. Here's a list that was provided for me for my shopping list. And here's a link to go get those buy one, get one frees. Okay. I did this also, and just to give you another practical use case, I went to Philadelphia at the middle of last year, or the end of last year, around the end of November. And on the way, I think a day before, I just wanted to put together a quick itinerary. So I did this exact thing, okay? I literally pulled my phone out and I said this right here. I said, Pelly, you're an expert travel agent. Pelly's my assistant AI, right? You're a travel agent. I'm traveling to Philadelphia next week. Can you please begin preparing my trip? First thing is this is where I'm staying. How far is this from the airport? Next, I'll be arriving close to dinner time. Please find a moderately priced dinner options within walking distance of my location. Please find top-rated restaurants and locals recommend. Also include contact information and websites so I can schedule a reservation. Next, Saturday morning, I would like to take a tour of all historic sites in Philly. Please create a plan and recommend what sites I should visit in the best order. I would like to start my tour around 9 a.m. And lastly, I can't visit Philly without test tasting the best Philly cheesesteaks. So please list the top rated cheesesteak options that are a must try. And please deliver this in an itinerary format. And I said all that. I didn't have to type all that. Okay. I literally set it into my phone. So within about a minute and a half, this is what came up. So it came up with my full itinerary. Okay. This is where I actually had dinner because this was literally a 2 mile walk from where I was staying. This place was sick, by the way. It was great food. I had some great charcuterie, and I literally clicked the link, made the reservation. That's actually where I had dinner that night. So it actually did it for me. It gave me some other options, as well as went into my full itinerary for touring the city the next day. Okay. Um, any feedback with that or any thoughts about that? And I just want to give you guys like an idea, because of my tour guide, this was a little bit of a look at some snapshots of me doing exactly what my assistant, recommended I do. So these are just some shots from me taking a tour, and all of this came from me literally taking about 45 seconds to talk into my phone, and the full itinerary was actually set up for me. So any questions or any feedback with that? Is that a practical use that you guys can see as being a benefit for you, or what are your thoughts so far?
That's cool.
Celinda's asking, was that ChatGPT that you're using?
Yeah, so basically all you need to do, guys, and there's a couple of things, and we're gonna, like I said, it's gonna be a 3-part discussion, okay? But yes, that's ChatGPT. You basically download the app onto your phone, and then you can, literally there's a voice option there, and you can literally talk to the voice option. And I would get really in the habit of those of you that are already using ChatGPT to start getting comfortable with using the voice option, because I'm telling you, the way that this is evolving, there's going to be a point in a few years, a mouse and a keyboard they're going to be useless. You're not going to be interfacing with your devices the way you think or the way we are currently. And that I can almost promise you that that's just the way things are moving. Things are voice. It recognizes photos. It recognizes images and as well as faces. So it's going to be moving towards more of a voice interactive kind of display. So yeah, so to answer that question, that's what I was just using. I was basically just using the ChatGPT app. Okay. All right, so let's shift gears a little bit. Just want to give you guys that little bit of a demo to kind of understand how I'm kind of using it in some other areas of my life. One of the things I can also recommend, you can actually use that voice for if you want to do like some practice, as an agent, and you want to practice, dealing with, how to best pitch yourself, or to pitch a listing, or to work with objections. You can actually literally have a discussion with AI, and it can train you and talk to you back and forth, and you can have like objection conversations and all types of things. We're going to do training on that specifically because I've got a pretty cool little demo I can show you of how that even works. All right. All right. So I know this is a big and bold statement right here. Robots won't replace you, but agents who use them will. And here's why. AI is not here to replace agents, it's here to supercharge them. In an industry where your relationships and timing are everything, agents who leverage AI will close more deals, work smarter, not harder, and free up time that truly matters. Building relationships, creating wealth, and maybe even having a weekend off. Yeah, right. If you're not integrating AI into your business, you're leaving money on the table. So let's dive into some practical ways AI can help you win more deals, make smarter decisions, and create a business that works for you rather than you working it 24/7. So the goal for our session here, all right, we're going to break this down to get kind of an understanding of the importance of AI, and the reason why it's going to be a critical role for you in your real estate career. We're also going to show you how to use AI as an accelerator. We'll see how it enhances performing agents' capabilities. I'm going to show you some practical tools that you can implement right away. And we're going to step up your prompt game, and we're going to teach you to learn the basics of prompt engineering. All right. And a few other kick-ass tips. And sorry, Mom, I didn't mean to drop the curse words, but a few other kick-ass tips. All right. So this image right here, actually, I created with AI. Okay. And what this represents is on the far left, this is going to be the World Wide Web. Okay, it's going to be, rolled out back when I was in high school, the World Wide Web. That center portion we're all familiar with because you don't see a person that doesn't have their hand glued to it, especially if they're kids, for the most part, everyone's got their phone in their hand. This was the introduction of the iPhone, which changed the game. Okay. And then the far right one is going to be AI. Now they all made some serious impacts in the world, but they made impacts in different scopes. And I'm going to kind of break that down so we have a really good understanding of how powerful and where we are right now in history and what's about to happen to the world. And I'm not even, being far-fetched with this. So 30 years ago, this is when I think it was about 32 years ago now, and I think about it. So it's 32 years ago is when the web was actually introduced. All right. So it increased global connectivity. All right. So the internet emerged in the late 20th century, connecting people worldwide. It provided instant communication, enabled real-time messaging, emails, video calls across the globe. E-commerce revolution happened. It transformed how we did business and sell and consumer shop, fueling a rise for online marketplaces. Information access, it made vast amounts of knowledge readily available, changing education and research. It transformed businesses, it reshaped industries, streamlined operations, automation, and digital collaboration. The digital content boom happened and led to a proliferation of online media, including social media networks, streaming, and user-generated content. Daily life integration became an essential part of modern life and influencing communication, work, and entertainment. I can't even imagine and even like to wrap my mind around not having the web. Like it just seems like I don't even understand. Like I don't remember a time when it wasn't there. Like if I guess I kind of do, but it's so much of our lives now that it literally transformed the world. So then let's go to 2007. iPhone dropped. So it revolutionized personal technology. Okay, it combined multiple devices into one. So that device integration included merging a phone with an iPod with an internet communicator and eliminating the need for separate gadgets. You literally have a supercomputer literally in your pocket. That is one of the most powerful computers that's been around. It's amazing what this has done. The smartphone set the standard for modern smartphones. I'm sorry, the iPhone set the standard for modern smartphones, influenced future mobile technology. The app development boom happened, which led to the creation of mobile applications, transforming how people connect with technology. Changing daily interaction, shifted away from users communicate, work, and how they access entertainment. So here we are on the precipice of this next major shift, the AI revolution. It's the road to superintelligence. It's a revolutionary transformation. AI represents a new era of technology capable of learning and reasoning. Now, I want you to stop for a second and just really understand what this means. It was always a deal when it comes to technology that it's how us as humans interacted with computers. So you have to input things. You have to type something into to a device in order to get an output. And depending on what you type in or what the input is, what the output is. What's happening now is technology and computers are learning how to interact with language. So they're language models, so they're understanding language. So because of that, it's transforming how we interact with devices. Human-like intelligence performs tasks traditionally requiring human intelligence, such as language understanding and image recognition. Automation powerhouse. Unlike the internet and the iPhone, AI automates complex tasks rather than just enhancing human capabilities. This is an industry disruptor, driving major advancements in healthcare, finance, transportation, and beyond real estate. Advanced decision-making enhances data analysis, problem-solving, and predictive capabilities across various fields. Future-defining technology poised to reshape industries, workflows, and everyday life at an unprecedented scale. And I want to really, really drive this point home. It is going to change everyday life and industries at an unprecedented scale. 10x what the web did, 10x what iPhones did, and that is mind-boggling in itself. This is a complete game changer. While the internet connected the world and the iPhone made connection personable and portable, AI is poised to bring about more profound transformation by enabling machines to perform tasks that previously required human intelligence, potentially reshaping numerous aspects of society as well as industry. So changing aspects of society as well as industry. I keep driving this home because I really want you to understand how big this is. Okay, so AI's impact on real estate. So $15.7 trillion economic boost is going to be projected and contributed to the global economy through AI by 2030. That's 15.7 trillion. And just to get your mind wrapped around trillion, because that's such a, it's even hard to even think of what that even is. Trillion, if you take dollar bill, I got a dollar bill right here. If you take a dollar bill right here and you stack dollar bills to be as much as 15.7 trillion, that would be 73.1 inches is how much a billion how much that is as far as like a dollar being stacked. That equates to 1,155,000 miles, which is about as much as 5 times the distance to the moon. All right, so to recap that again, 15.7 trillion equates to about 73.1 million, so billion inches, which is about 1,155 miles, which is 5 times the distance from the Earth to the moon. And that fun tip was provided by AI, of course. I didn't crank that myself. So that's just mind-boggling what is going to have an impact on the global economy. So as far as how it's going to affect your business, on average, AI saves agents about 2 hours a day. So that is 10 hours a week. If you work a 5-day work week, 14 hours a week. If you take those 2 hours that are wasted on trivial things that you can automate or compress the time frames, if you take those 2 hours to focus on lead generation and follow-up, just 2 hours a day that were wasted time, it will absolutely transform your business. 100%, no doubt about it, because that's the most important thing, income generating opportunities and activities, and that is talking to buyers and sellers and building relationships and providing value. So that's why those 2 hours are very important. 30% conversion increase when it comes to setting appointments and conversion rates using AI to nurture leads. Top producing agents are about 35% more efficient with AI-powered tools. AI predicts market trends with data. AI analyzes interest rates, employee trends, and home sales, predicts pricing trends before they happen, helping agents to make smarter decisions. All right, so we're going to keep it moving. I wanted to let me pop out of here real quickly. I did create a guide, and I'm going to drop this right now in the chat for you guys. Because this is probably a good place to kind of have a little bit of a pause and see if anyone's actually used this guide. Can anyone unmute? That's actually, I popped that in the chat for you right there, so you have that. Has anyone actually used this guide? Do you remember me even making it? Was it something that was just kind of looked over, or do you have any? Has anyone used this or even looked at it, or that want to share with me? Anyone can jump in.
I used it, Marcus.
Is this Bill?
Yes.
So as far as like Bill, I appreciate you jumping in, man. And I look forward to meeting with you on Monday, by the way. So as far as what value or like why, like when you looked at this, what was the purpose? As far as you can think of, why this was shared or why this is even important?
And well, it's like you said, even though AI is changing the way we do things, we still have to write good prompts to get the best answers. And so this prompt guide helped me learn some of the things you taught me about, again, how to just write a better prompt to get a more precise answer.
And you nailed it, and I owe you lunch for that one. That's exactly where I was going with that. The whole purpose of this and why we're going to spend some time on this right now is because there are a lot of people that are using AI, but they're not really using AI. They're kind of like, or they're kind of treating it like kind of like a parlor trick. Like, hey, I put something in, it gives me like this cool thing, so there's no understanding, there's a framework around how a machine gives you an output. And the better you structure that framework, the better that output is. And it can handle extremely complex things and very simplistic things like I just did for my shopping list, the full range. But if you have an understanding of the framework, then it's going to the technology is going to work for you better. A lot of people are never going to take the time to learn what the framework is, and they're going to be lost in the mix, not understanding why they're doing or the machine's doing what it does, and it's going to give subpar. I see all the time when people posting things or writing descriptions, I can tell that they didn't use any framework. They just said, "Hey, write me a listing description," and it spits this thing out, and they post it, and it's just very obvious that it's AI. So like I said, I dropped this into the chat. So please take a look at this. I'm going to go over some of these things. This is a very basic guide. I'm going to go over some of these things in the rest of the slide deck that we're working on right now. And that's where we're going to start.
Can I just say one more thing?
Please pop in.
I'm using it almost every day, even for some of my own personal things. Like, for instance, I created one for cooking, a custom GPT, and I put all the ingredients that I always have in my house, oregano, garlic, salt, pepper, olive oil.
Love it.
And then now I can just pop in things that I have, and then it'll use things that I already have in my house, and it'll find all these interesting recipes for me. But one thing I did is I'm creating my Facebook page, Janine, for my neighborhood. And I asked it to help me walk me through how to create a Facebook page and how to set the privacy settings and, to use SEO optimized words, help me pick the name. And I'm in the process of setting that up. And here's the 3 pages of all of that, which, I would have been able to do on my own, but I would have been a little clunky just because I don't create Facebook pages every day. And so it set all that up for me so I can just create my page real easily.
Awesome, man. I
Thank you.
appreciate you sharing that, Bill. Thank you so much. And we got some more stuff to throw at you too. So I look forward to talking to you on Monday. Okay, so here we go.
Hey, Marcus.
Yeah.
I don't think the book went into the chat. I don't see it.
Oh,
Yes,
you know
it
what?
did. It's there.
Is it? Where
Yep.
at?
You just click on the chat. I'm getting ready to, yeah.
And guys, if it's not in there, I just want you guys to have stuff real time. Of course, I'm always going to share links as well as any type of attachments and a follow-up. But I just want you guys to have some stuff real time because you guys are on the meeting. So if you don't have it, or if you can't click it, or if you're driving or something, don't worry about it. I got your back. I'll make sure to put it in the follow-up.
Yeah, and if you don't see it, just drop me in the chat and I'll send it to you. Lisa, I just sent it to you. So
Thank you.
we do have one question before you move forward. Kara would like to know, have you tried DeepSeek?
Yeah, like let's not get I don't want to get ahead
Yeah,
of
okay.
it too much. In part 2 and part 3, we're going to talk about multiple different language models, from Jasper to DeepSeek to Abacus to Gemini to Gronk. There's tons of them. I don't want to confuse people too much. I have tried DeepSeek. It's ridiculous in some ways. It's amazing, especially the story behind it. It's a game changer for sure. So yeah, we're going to talk about some of those things, but I'm just going to try to keep it dialed right now.
Okay.
But this is going to be a continuous progress of a thing, because I think it's important that you understand. I did a little backstory to begin with to kind of frame this for you, and now we're going to talk about what the most important thing about this whole discussion is. This right here. This is the most important thing. So if there's any time to listen and not ignore me right now, this is the stuff. Okay, I promise you. Because once I started learning this, it really completely changed the way I see the world in a lot of ways, because it's all about how you prompting, and like everything's about prompting in communication anyway. So to use correct prompting formula, this is the most basic formula there is, okay? To structure prompts effectively for better responses, the first thing you're going to need is a task and an objective, okay? Then you're going to need some context and details. You're going to give it some context. You got your task, then you have context and details. Then you're going to have any constraints, what you don't want, or things you don't want it to do, or what are the constraints, all right? Or specific constraints. And then you're also going to have a desired format. You know, what format do you want it in? I want this in a paragraph format. I want this in bullet points. I want this to be in a CSV file. I want this to be, what format do you, and it, yes, it can create CSV files for you as well. And then one of the things that people do not do is they do not ask the AI to ask clarifying questions to you in order for it to give you a better output. If it's asking you questions, then it's going to give you a stronger output. Okay. This is a very basic example of that structure. Writing a listing description for a three bedroom, two bath home in St. Petersburg, Florida. That's my task. Targeting first time home buyers. That's going to be my context and my constraints. I'm sorry, my context and details. My constraints are keep it under 150 words and highlight ocean views. Okay, so that would be a very, very basic example of that structure. Okay. So now then I did a secondary one here, write a luxury home listing description for a five bedroom, four bath estate in Beverly Hills. Highlight the infinity pool, smart home features, panoramic city views, keep it under 200 words and make it appeal to high net worth buyers. So you can see that each one of those, I didn't ask it to ask me any questions in this one, but you can see that each one of those pieces, you know, the task, the context, the constraints, and the format are always part of that prompt. If you understand just that basic framework, it's going to take you miles further than most people because most people treat AI just like they treat Google. They just ask it a question and therefore it just gives you a blase output. If you really want to dial in and really supercharge like your outputs and your productivity, spend some time understanding how to create prompts. Here's a little bit more advanced formula that I've been trying to share with people. So this is a 5-step prompting formula. And like I said, you're going to have these slides, you're going to have all this. You can go back and rewatch this video. So don't get stressed out if you can't pick up this all at one time. It took me a while myself to really figure this out. It's practice, it's practice, it's practice, and you get better and better and better at it. It's like anything. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to define a role. So anytime you're working with, no matter what LM model you're using, it could be Gronk, it could be ChatGPT, it could be DeepSeek, whatever AI model or language model you're using, if you define the role, so you're defining its expertise, you are a expert copywriter. So that's how I would start off a prompt if I need someone to help me, if I wanted to help me write a blog, you know, or you are a SEO specialist, you know, you're going to tell it what its role is. Then you're going to clearly state what you need. That's a task. Then you're going to give specifics. So any type of important notes and emotional emphasis. This actually blew my mind as I researched this because AI and LMs, it wants to give you a positive output. So the more positive that you make a chat, and it's going to sound crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but the more you kind of hype it up and say, you know, you are such an awesome, you know, expert writer. And I've done this like hundreds of times now, and it gives me the best outputs when I'm encouraging it. And then if it's really important, like if I'm writing something that's really important, I'll say, if this is very important for my business or very important for our business objectives, please take your time and do a thorough analysis so that we get the most beneficial output. So the more you're actually given emotional cues or triggers like that, the more it's going to skew towards a more positive and robust output. And there's been tons of studies on this, like millions of dollars spent on this topic. I don't know what it is. It's kind of scary, but emotional pepping up the model helps it to give a better output. Provide some background and details. So you want to make sure you give it some type of a contextual background on what it's working on. And then there's also something that you want to do to really get the best out of your outputs is to give an example. So if you're writing like a blog or or a social media post or whatever it is, if you can copy an example and put in that this is an example of what I want the output to be, it will skew to a better output for you, more in alignment with what you want. So providing examples to the AI is going to be a very beneficial thing. So let's go into a little deep of understanding that a little bit better. Here's how it works. So as far as your role, define what the ChatGPTs. I'm going to use ChatGPT for this model, for LM. define the expertise. You're a professional real estate copywriter with experience in luxury home marketing. So that's the expertise. Why is this important? Because it helps it generate more industry specific responses. Number two, clearly state what you need. Your task is to write a compelling listing description for a waterfront property. All right, so that's the task and why, because you're defining to avoid any vague responses. Number three, specifics. You're adding crucial details or emotional emphasis. Once again, this is very important for my business. The listing must appeal to high net worth buyers who value exclusivity and elegance. Emotional prompting improves engagement and quality. I know it sounds wild, but it's true. I've done it enough to know the more you pep up the thing, the more it's going to be. So I am so nice to my to my ChatGPT and my other models that I'm using. I'm like they're like my best friends, so I treat them that way. They're awesome. All right, so provide background. This home is a 5-bedroom, 4-bath modern estate in St. Petersburg, Florida, featuring a private dock, infinity pool, and panoramic waterfront views of Tampa Bay. The target audience is the wealthy investors or retirees looking for a luxurious Florida lifestyle. This helps ChatGPT tailor the response for maximum impact. And then I will give it some examples. Show the ideal output, what it should look like. Here's an example. Here's a listing description I love. Make mine similar to this one, but even more engaging. So in that scenario, I would like either copy paste or find an example of, or what I've done in the past is like I've written like my own blog post. I wrote in my own style and my own format, and then I'll share that with the model, and it will mirror and it will try to mimic the writing style so it sounds like it's your voice. Okay, so that we're going to get into that in some later sessions, but that's where we're going with this. Okay, example of listing. This is called few shot prompting. When you give it an example, it's called few shot. Don't worry about that, but it's just giving examples. Waterfront paradise in St. Petersburg, Florida, experience unparalleled elegance in this stunning 5-bedroom estate, boasting a private dock, infinity pool, and breathtaking Tampa Bay views, nestled in an exclusive community that this home offers a perfect blend of sophistication and serenity. Providing examples fine-tunes ChatGPT's response for better accuracy. All right, moving on. So this is the full thing put together. So I would start by saying you're a professional real estate copywriter specializing in high-end properties. Your task is to write a compelling listing description for a waterfront home in St. Petersburg, Florida. This is very important for my business as I need to attract high net worth buyers. The property is 5-bedroom, 4-bath estate featuring a dock, infinity pool, and breathtaking views. The ideal buyer is a wealthy investor or retiree looking for exclusivity. Please ensure the tone is elegant, inspirational, and here's an example of a style I prefer. And I would insert an example if I had one. Okay, so I know that was a mouthful. You'll be able to go back through, but that is the 5-step AI prompting formula. That if you this is pretty basic here. It seems like it's a lot, but once you get used to every time you start to prompt something, try to use this structure, just practice it, and it will become second nature over time. Okay. Here's your takeaways. Use role-based prompting. Tell ChatGPT to act like an expert. Give a clear task. Specify what you need. Include specifics. Add important notes or emotions. Provide context, define your audience, your features, the purpose, and give examples to show the output, what the output should look like. All right. All right. You're on ramp to incorporating AI into your daily life. Drum roll, please. That's the most ridiculous drum roll I've ever heard. All right. So this is an on ramp to how you can easily start to incorporate AI into your daily life. Stop using Google. And I know this is mind-boggling. If you stop for 1 second, like do me a favor in the chat right now. How many people in the past 2 days have Googled something? Just a 1 for a yes and a 2 for a no. If you Google something in the past 2 days, please drop a 1 in the comments for me. I am pretty sure everyone on this damn call, but maybe not. Rick hasn't Googled anything because he's probably using AI. I don't know. Yeah. That's hilarious. But anyway, stop using Google. And here's why. All right, so we're going to go into why. Why you should use AI instead of using Google. You'll get faster insights if you're using AI. It delivers quicker, more relevant information. Contextual memory. It remembers context, so it eliminates you having to go back and redefine yourself. It gives you more of a personalized data and approach. And then you can also task it while it's getting information for you. So I'll explain to you in more depth why this all is now. You need to start thinking of, instead of like a search tool, like all you're doing with Google is you're saying, hey, where are the best tacos? And it says the best tacos. It pulls up a bunch of people who are paying for space on their page. It pulls those people up first. And then what it does, it doesn't, that's about as far as it goes. It's basically pulling up the information that you're asking for. So you need to start thinking about your searching with AI as literally it's your assistant. It's your assistant to whatever it is that you need. If you need it to help you with finding, the best spas to go to, if finding the best, vitamins for your kids. There's so many things that searching with AI are going to benefit, and we're going to go into them right now. The most powerful benefits for using AI over Google for real estate agents: faster, more relevant information. Okay. Instead of searching, clicking through links and extracting takeaways manually, AI delivers it instantly with precise answers and no distractions. It's a conversational and context aware. So unlike Google, it remembers the context within a conversation, allowing agents to refine their searches without starting over every time. Hyper-personalized insights. Agents can use ChatGPT to generate responses based on specific locations, market trends, or even their personal sales strategies, making it a smarter assistant than Google. Summarize market data and reports. Instead of reading multiple articles, AI can summarize complex real estate reports, MLS data, trends into digestible insights. No more wasting time on clickbait ads. Google prioritizes websites that spend the most money for SEO and ads. So that's why those people are at the top. It's not necessary for you it's not necessarily the best resources who just stroke the biggest check to get put up there in that top of the fold, right? It eliminates clickbait, fluff, irrelevant content to provide more high quality responses instantly. This dog looks like he's really, really shocked, by the way. All right. So still more powerful benefits for using AI over Google for real estate agents. Number 6, AI can perform tasks beyond search. Google only goes out and retrieves information, but AI can write descriptions, draft emails, scripts, make copy, generate social media posts, analyze property details, answer client FAQs efficiently. It gives you a competitive edge and innovation. Agents who use AI effectively will outperform those in a traditional search that are using traditional search methods. It's an industry game changer. Predictive analytics and market trends. Google shows what has already happened. AI can forecast market trends, suggesting pricing strategies and help agents stay ahead. That is huge. Reduces research fatigue. Instead of spending hours looking for the right info, agents can get exactly what they need in seconds, leading to higher productivity. Back to that beginning of the earlier slides, that 2 hour window. I mean, I don't know exactly, like I need to go back and really kind of really do my own math, but I've actually probably retrieved more than 2 hours in my day. I've added things in the place of those 2 hours, so my plate continues to fill up because I'm 10x in my productivity. So there's more things that are put on my plate, but I probably have shaved like 2 to 4 hours easy off of my day by implementing these strategies. Okay. Your more professional client interactions. AI can prep agents with custom scripts, negotiation tactics, and even role play tricky conversations, helping them close deals with confidence. This is back to what I said about the voice AI. You can literally have role playing back and forth with tricky conversations, and you can tell it, hey, look, don't take it easy on me, stump me with some questions. And it is smart enough to have a conversation with you back and forth to help you develop a better strategy. And you're literally just talking to your damn phone. It's amazing. All right. So final verdict, AI is much better than Google for real estate agents. The transition isn't just smart, it's inevitable. Agents who embrace AI early will dominate the industry. Those who don't they're going to be still using Google, and they're going to be outdated and lagging behind. Okay. And it is early still, guys. There are some people that never even heard of ChatGPT. It blows my mind. There's some people that have never even heard of it. So you're still early in this thing. We're really only 2 years into this, beginning of this monsoon that's going to hit. Okay. All right, so pop up, wrap up. The future belongs to enable AI-enabled agents. So you can streamline your daily workflow. AI accelerates the sales process. It saves you hours to reduce manual work with AI. You're worth it. Get your time back. Better client service, enhance client experiences with AI insights, and create content easily by generating engaging content effortlessly with AI. We're going to go over more of that in the next couple of sessions when it comes to content creation. So here are the next steps. This is going to be like the end of the actual slides, but I'm going to go into some real live examples real quick too, to kind of show you how some agents in the office as well as myself are using AI on a daily basis that I think will be easy to kind of understand without getting too much into the weeds right now. So number one, start using AI today. Choose a tool, even if it's just never going back to Google again. I mean, I'm not really saying you're never going to go back to Google. Try to do most of your searches inside of an LM. It's just much of a more better experience. I've done that now for months, and I rarely ever go to Google anymore. Practice AI generated listings. So test AI descriptions and compare them to manual ones. It's going to save you a lot of time if you learn how to prompt and be able to write a listing description. That takes a long time. And then I'm going to show you another tool. I'm going to drop into the chat, which is our AI. It's a Metro AI tool dashboard. This is basically a kind of a cheat sheet or a cheat code because I've already written the prompts for certain tasks, and all you have to do is put the input in. You don't even have to write the prompt. And I'm going to share that with you in a second. I'm going to drop that in the chat, and then we're also going to do some training on that in the future. But because I need you to battle test it for me to make sure it's working effectively, I can make the prompts a little bit better. So the next thing is please join me for part 2 of this talk. We're going to talk about advanced prompting, which is chain prompting for better outputs. Don't even worry about what that is. I'll explain it to you. We're gonna talk about the differences. Whoever asked that question earlier about things like DeepSeek, but we're gonna talk about the other models you can use in ChatGPT. There are multiple models that ChatGPT offers, and specific models are used for specific use cases that are better. So I'll explain to you how to choose which model in ChatGPT for whatever task you're doing. And we'll talk about, Perplexity and Claude and Grok and Jasper and Abacus AI and DeepSeek. All right. We're also going to talk about generating amazing images I don't know if I'm on the screen or not, but my background image that I created that with a prompt. I'm going to show you how to create some very cool images with writing prompts and show you how to do that. And we're going to give you some more time saving. I got to move this out of the way. Time saving relevant use cases and frameworks as well as workflows that will help you 10x your production. Okay. I should say productivity, not production, but hopefully it'll help you create your production as well. So we're going to show you some frameworks and workflows that'll help you 10x your productivity. All right. I'm gonna take a breath for a second and then open it up to any questions, anything that anyone is confused about or wants to comment about what I've said so far. We got about 12 minutes left on this voyage. I want to share a few more things with you and then we'll get you back to your workday. Anyone have any feedback or any questions?
Hallucinations, any thoughts about that? We've got a
Yeah.
question.
It depends on what model you're using, and it also does come down to the prompting. And it really has to do with what the prompt is. I see that a lot of times because what it tries to do is if you don't give it enough context, it's trying to fill in the space. And basically what that means, guys, if anyone doesn't know what that means. So sometimes when you're working with these language models, it will start giving you these very biased and really weird, tripped out type of hallucinations because it's always trying to give you an output. So if it doesn't have enough input to make that happen, depending on what model you're using, then it starts giving you these weird abstract things. So usually anytime I see any hallucinations, I just basically go refresh and rework my prompt. And I'll make a note to really hit on that a little bit because I am seeing a little bit of that more now with some of the other models. But I'll make sure to put that as like a talking point in the part 2 of the discussion, whoever asked that question. So I'm gonna drop this into the chat right now. This is a tool that I put together that is basically, like I said, got a cheat sheet when it comes to you don't have to know how to write a prompt, so it's an easy way to let me go to everyone here, boom, because I think that's what happened last time. All right, so boom, I'm dropping that into the chat. You got it there. So that is a Remax Metro AI dashboard. And in this dashboard, there are certain things that are already prompts written for you. So for instance, unique value proposition designer, real estate market report, your customer avatar, property descriptions, writing Facebook descriptions. So all you have to do is click on the little box here, and then all you're doing is you're answering the question, the questions out of there, and you go to submit, and then the AI does the work for you. So I've already written the prompts in the back, and so you don't have to go in and actually write the prompts. And some of these prompts are chain prompts, and what I mean by that is if you go like into property descriptions, you're gonna put in your property address as well as a brief description of the property. And I've written the prompt so that it gives you a property description, and then it gives you a Facebook post, then it gives you an Instagram post, then it gives you a blog, and then it gives you suggestions on how to share this. So it's a multiple prompt deal. So this is a great way to kind of start to play with AI a little bit, and it's a time saver because you don't actually have to write the prompt. It's kind of a cheat code for that. So please play with this, give me some feedback, email me, text me, call me. If something breaks or gives you a really bad output, let me know, and because I'm continuously trying to rework the prompts as well as add additional tools that will be helpful for this dashboard. Okay. Any questions about that? I'm going to go over a couple of real life case scenarios that we've done in the office. Is Chip on the call by any chance? Chip, are you out there? Out there anywhere?
I do not see him.
Okay, well, we'll talk about him real quick. Because he's not here, we'll talk about him. So Chip recently had let me see if I can find it here. Not that one. I thought I had it up here. Boom. Insights, questions. So Chip recently had a client reach out to him and give him a 25 question, a questionnaire. I don't think I have it in here. Rosa insights, breakdown. I had it in here, guys. So sorry. I want to give you an example of it. Well, the long and short of it is he had a client that came in and asked him to fill out a questionnaire. And and for real estate agents, that's not it. Ready to go. Yeah, in real estate. I think I may have deleted it because it was his private deal. All right, so what we did was, here it is. Okay. Okay, I think this is it. So let's go all the way back up to the top of this. All right, so this is it. So he got a letter from he's been writing expires. He writes expired letters on a regular basis. He had someone call him on one of his letters. That person sent him a 25 a 25 question questionnaire that she is using to interview agents with. So he asked me what my thoughts were with that. I'm like, well, my thoughts are to use AI to kind of help you kind of navigate through this. So I went in and we literally wrote a prompt, and here's the prompt that I wrote. It says, Pelly, you're an expert and top real estate agent that is interviewing for a listing opportunity. The seller has provided a list of 25 questions that will be used to narrow down agents to be considered for the listing. Please generate a prompt that will be used to help answer the questions in a professional, engaging manner to ensure the best outcome. Ask me questions that you may need when generating this prompt. So here's a response that I got from the output. Got it. To craft the perfect prompt, to make you stand out as a top real estate agent, I need to understand a few key things about the property and also you that you're hoping to list. Here are some questions to help me generate the best response. So it gave us a list of things that I gave to Chip to make sure he answered. So this is very personalized to him as well as to this specific listing. Once it has all the details, I'll craft a compelling, professional, engaging prompt to ensure you come across as the best choice for the listing. Let me know what you got. So, and I just kind of went back and refreshed what I'm asking for here. And then we entered all of the questions that were sent on the questionnaire here. All right. And then based upon the questionnaire, it asked some more questions for me here. So these are some more questions I had Chip answer. And then once it was filled out, we entered his responses back into here, which is what this is. And then Based upon the information you provided, I'll craft the compelling professional responses to the questions to ensure you stand out as the best candidate. Then it gave me, here was the output that it gave. And this is the first iteration of the output. So we took this, what it gave me, I gave it to Chip, we massaged it. And then I went back and changed it even one more time. So I added some additional things that we offer from Remax Metro for marketing and listing strategy, as far as buyer personas and Lux VT and a couple other things I put into a document that I uploaded here. And then I use it to refine this response. And then it says, thanks for providing the marketing listing strategy document. And so it's going to go over some buyer persona approach, the team brokerage resources and in consultative style. And then it gave us another output. And this was the final output that Chip, we put into a document. He cleaned it up a little bit, added his information, and sent this off to the prospective client of his. Okay. Why this response works, because it incorporates a buyer persona strategy to showcase advanced marketing tactics. It emphasizes your Remax Metro resources to add credibility. It highlights your consultative approach to seller, so the seller feels in control. It positions you as a skilled negotiator and proactive communicator, and it tailors open house and marketing plans specifically to this property. So that was a use case that I wanted to share with you. Anyone have any questions with that before I move on to a couple other things, then we'll jump off this call.
We do have a question. Will this communicate easily with BoldTrail to produce campaigns or target ads?
So that's kind of a loaded question. There's no API, so to speak, with BoldTrail and, like, let's just say ChatGPT. But if we wanted to produce some custom campaigns, we could do that outside of BoldTrail, create the campaigns and import those campaigns into BoldTrail. So there's not a seamless API. Basically what that means is two systems that talk to each other seamlessly with data going one way and the other way. There's not a connection like that. But we can definitely create like drip campaigns and custom campaigns and upload those inside of BoldTrail to answer your question.
Okay.
Awesome question. Appreciate it. All right. So here's an example of one of my good students. Here's K1, Mr. Handsome K1 here. This was I showed him a workflow for creating blog posts. Okay. Why are blog posts important? I'm going to show you why they're important. But I gave him a framework to create blog posts. And part of that framework, he's posting the blog post, a snippet of the blog post on his social media, on his Facebook page. And then that snippet drives people from the Facebook page. If they click on this, it goes over to his website. So it's driving people to his personal website to read the rest of the blog. So the reason for this is to create SEO performing blog posts with certain keywords to drive business from your Facebook or social media over to your agent website, because most agent websites are dormant. They really don't get any activity. So if we're putting content there that Google and now also AI agents and AI or LM platforms are going to be able to see content there, it's a good way to drive business to a agent website. And I'm going to show you that not only am I talking this in theory, that's exactly what I've been doing for weeks and weeks and weeks with our company blog. I'm up to about 71 blog posts now with this structure. So the structure is just like I showed you with K1. I'll write the blog, then I'll have AI help me do an SEO optimized Facebook post copy. Then I'll connect the Facebook post to the blog, which, as you can see, drives people or visits to the company site, which is going to put more eyes on your listings, put more eyes on the agent roster, and put more business and money in your pockets, if the theory is. And this is not just theory. Over the past 90 days, this strategy and some other SEO strategies have increased our Metro website about 245% as far as activity and visitors. So our average visitors have gone up significantly, and I have Google Analytics hooked to the company website. And this is a look at, this is continuously climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing because of the content. And that's what we want. So by doing this strategy from a company perspective, I can also drill it down for an agent perspective to how we can drive business to your agent websites based upon this same workflow. All right. Anyone have any other questions? Is Laurie on this call? I thought I saw her.
No.
No, she jumped off. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Then there's another agent that kind of did the same framework as K1, and that's going to be Casey, who's also using the same framework now. This is Casey's blog post. Same strategy about how to drive business to his, or how to drive viewers to his agent website. And that's by doing the same framework I shared with you that K1 and I are both using for websites. All right. It is exactly 11 o'clock. So I wanted to pop out. Anyone have any questions, any feedback, or anything that anyone wants to discuss for the good of the order or to discuss with me? Now's your time, or forever hold your peace.
Marcus, thank you very much for taking time to share this with us. We really appreciate it. It's great information. And I know that you've got another class coming up. What's the date on that and what's the topic?
The topic, we're going to do a deeper dive, and I got to look at the date because it's on my calendar, so I need to go back over, but I'll put it out in the follow-up. But we're going to do more of a deeper dive into some more advanced prompting, because what I showed you, if you just, the basic frameworks that I showed you for prompting, you're going to be ahead of like 90% of the people out there, just on that alone, I promise. If you know and understand that when I put something into this, and you structure it in a way that you get the output that you want, if you understand that and you practice that over time, you're going to get better and better and better of how to interact with the language models, and you're going to be ahead of everyone else who's just going to be putting in random stuff and getting junk outputs. And I can easily tell when I see someone that's doing that when they're writing descriptions or when they're doing like a social media post or whatever. I can tell AI wrote it just because the way it doesn't flow it doesn't have a voice or a tone like a person. And you can just tell from the outputs because I've done it so much now. So we're going to talk about advanced prompting. We're going to talk about some other AI or LM models, and a couple of things before we leave that are some bonus tips. Real quick, if you guys have 5 minutes, these are some good bonus tips. I'm inside of ChatGPT right now, okay? If you go over to the little circle where your picture is, and you click on that, and you click on settings, this is a couple of things you want to know here. There is something called personalization right here, and you want to occasionally go in here. ChatGPT has a memory, and you occasionally want to go in here and manage the memory and make sure there are not things in here that you don't want it pulling or pulling any things from that may be things you're just doing, to test something or whatever. You can go through and look at some of the memories in here and see whether or not you want those to continue to be part of the memory and clean that up from time to time. All right. So that was under settings and personalization, and then under manage memory. Okay. Another thing that you definitely want to do, back into the same way again, you want to go under, I think it was under settings again, and go to, is it general notifications? Personalization. Nope, not personalization. Hang on one second, guys. They moved it. General code. I think it's right here. My task, my GPT, customize GPT. Okay. So you want to go to customize GPT. So I'll do that again. You go to your picture and you go to customize GPT. And what this does is you want to let them know let it know what to call you. What do you do? So in here, I put in here what I do and who I am. So it has some context to work from. I say that I want the GPT to remain neutral in responses and please cite resources when necessary. So there's some traits I want the ChatGPT to have. And then I also put how I want it to communicate and some of the outputs, okay? And then anything else I would like it to know, write the responses from my real estate brokerage, Remax Metro, the perspectives promoting our agents and services in our community, make the responses professional, engaging, with a little bit of a witty tone. So you can go in and personalize how you want the GPT to respond for you. Okay, so that was once again under, if I went back to the dashboard, it's under settings, and you just click on your picture and it's under settings. All right, so I know I got off track there, but I just wanted to add that for you guys. But to finish up that last part, we're going to talk about different models within ChatGPT as well as different LM models, and then do some practical applications for some additional things to help you save time in your day-to-day workflows. And then on part 3, we're going to build a customized personal GPT. And just to give you a quick little preview of what that even is, one more time, I'll go back to my dashboard over here. And Pelly McChatster is my personalized GPT. You can see I've had 300 plus conversations with him. He's a powerful and reliable assistant for complex tasks. And these are some of the things that he helps me with. I use him every single day. There's not a day that goes by I don't actually use Pelly for something. So I'm going to show you how to build a customized GPT assistant, and we'll do that in session number 3. So those are some things to look forward to over the next couple of sessions.
Marcus, can I mention something? I think that I'm dealing with a fake custom GPT buyer that came to me through the Remax website, through Bold Trail, showed up as a new lead in my Bold Trail. So that cuts both ways.
Cuts both ways. So explain that one more time. I'm not picking up what you're putting down.
Well, what I mean is that as much as it can help us, we got to be on the lookout, because I got a lead through Bold
Yeah.
Trail that said I had a buyer lead. And after communicating with this GPT a little bit, I realized that it's not a real person, and I don't know what the end game would be, what they're trying to do. But there was an article that came up on my daily Florida Realtors, and I might have read it yesterday, so it might have been from the day before, that addressed that AI scams and what to look out for. But I can just tell from the tone of the conversation,
Yeah.
that this is not a real person, and they're not really looking to buy a house in the next 60 days for 900,000 cash in St. Pete. And they just found me and thought I was awesome, and I'm their agent.
Yeah, I mean, I think the more that you're actually, to your point, and the reason why you're even aware of that is because, Bill, you're actually using AI. So the more you're actually using it in the game, the more you're not going to fall prey to those types of things. It's what's important that you start to really educate yourself and understanding what looks like it's a scam and what's not, and what's AI, what's not. Bots are going to be, or AI bots and AI agents are going to be a big thing. Agents are going to be able to do multiple tasks for you by telling it to go do something, and it's going to use multiple applications for you and have that running in the background. That's going to happen. There's no way around it. Scammers are going to be scammers. It's just, they have more advanced technology and approaches now. So thanks for bringing that up. And we'll definitely, maybe I'll also address that scams along with hallucinations and in the part 2.
February 25th, mark your calendars. That's the date, 10 o'clock. Same link.
Same link, but I will send it out again, because even though you say same link, people still want to know the link. So I will send it out again. And just to close, guys, I really appreciate you guys' time. I know we're about 6 minutes over. But if you want to have an offline conversation with me and to talk about this, and if you're intimidated, or if you have some ideas for me to share or whatever it is, this needs to be a thing we constantly talk about. I'm not going to this is not something we're just dropping one session on and like, oh God, we know how to use AI. I've been deep in this for like a year and a half, and I'm committed to continuing to learn as much as possible, because it's going to change our company, it's going to change our industry, and hopefully can change your businesses. So I take this very seriously. So if you have any feedback, I've sat down with several agents and had one-on-ones already. People are already implementing some of these strategies into their business, and I'm so proud of them for doing it, because it's a little bit intimidating at first, but once you kind of start doing some of the things, in the first on-ramp, I'm telling you, is just to stop using Google. And last thing, because I didn't explain this to you, and we'll jump off, and I promise you this is the last thing, because I know we're over. What I didn't show you is when you're in ChatGPT and how to even use search. So if I go back to ChatGPT, we'll go back to this, just to the regular model here. You just want to make sure when you're prompting that this is turned on, because you got some tools right here, DALL-E as well as Canvas. You want to make sure those are turned on. And the way, if you don't see them there, go back to your settings that I talked about earlier. So you go back to your settings, No, it's not settings, it's personalized GPT. Go back to here, and then make sure that your, was it personalized GPT or settings? Maybe it was settings. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna make sure this is turned on correctly. Personalized GPT should be here. Not there. Was it? One more time. Personalization is where it's at, right? Applications or general? Well, they should be defaulted on. If they're not defaulted on, you should see this here. And then anytime you're going to use like a web search, just make sure this is clicked on. And that way, when you start to type, it's going to start searching the web. That's how you actually turn on the web search. All right, so that's that. And it's a wrap, unless you guys have anything to say. Crickets.
Thank
All right,
you,
Thank you,
Marcus.
Marcus.
All right, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.